Absolutely.
Jai Gurudev. Today at the Art of Living Academy of Performing
Jai
Arts,
Gurudev.
we welcome India's walking violinist, Anish Vidyashankar. So, Anish, whether it is a romantic situation, a sad situation, a violent situation, in every situation, the violin is used in India in the background music. Whether it's 1,000 violins playing when there's a proposal happening or there's a really sad scene. So, the violin is very versatile. And in even in that, you are a very versatile violinist, and I want to find out how is it that you started walking. You're called a walking violinist. So we have heard of people sitting and playing the violin, and in Carnatic music sitting on the floor, in Western symphonies standing and playing the violin. How did you start walking around and playing the violin?
Right. So, first of all, a big hello to everyone. And of course, it gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this wonderful festival. So, to answer your question, I started performing the violin close to around 2.5 decades ago. So, not that I'm some 75-year-old now, but yes, I started quite young. I'm 28 now. I've been performing almost for the past, you can say 22, 24 years. And I felt the need to I always believe that change is constant and you need to adapt to the new circumstances, and I think the pandemic has been teaching us much more about that than anything would have ever. So similarly, I felt that there was a need to I just felt the need to do something unique and something different. So me and my dad, the whole family were traveling in Europe, and that is where I picked up this whole idea of walking and playing the violin. And after that, we headed over to the United States, where I got some of the equipment that I wanted, and it just started. So it was an idea. From an idea, it went on to becoming something. The transition to it actually happening. Also, I had to get some of the equipment, which incidentally I was in the US, so I got that as well. So it all came together, and that's how I started. And a challenging part was to play the Indian music curves or the gamakas while I walk. And it's not just the Western scale that I'm playing. It's also, the Carnatic scale that I play, with my walking and playing and everything. So I think that was more challenging, and that was what I did. And we have developed a technique which I do where I play these gamakas. So that's how it all started.
Brilliant. I think one thing that is synonymous again with your name is to think big. And I remember listening in one of your older interviews when you were 27, now you're just 28, so it's not that old. But when in the US, you gave an interview and you spoke about how right from childhood, your father directly started you on a large-sized adult violin and not
Correct.
on the kiddie level as it usually is. So since childhood is thinking big something that comes naturally to you, and or is it that you dream of things to do and then things fall into place?
Well, I would have to give all credit to my dad, for making me who I am today. As you said, that was just one of the instances where he said I have to play with, the full-size violin. And as it's all the muscle memory that you have in your fingers. So that is something that has been developed with the same, distance between each finger. And that's why it's so important to play on a bigger violin. But in terms of thinking big, moving forward, doing things uniquely, I think it's a combination of what I have in my mind as well as the support that I get from my parents as well. So I think all in all, it's a combination of both of these things which brings me to where I am today. So I think it's very important that, there should, I'm sure you know about this as well. Support is something that you need to have, and definitely encouragement, which I've been getting from a lot of my fans, my friends, my parents, etc. So I think that is something which keeps me going. And even during a pandemic, we're all excited for this wonderful program, and looking forward to it.
Totally. I don't think now we can be in an audience where you walk onto us, but we can see you walking on screen during the pandemic. But I have a question: in all your concerts, and you enter from anywhere on stage, you enter from behind the audience. Has it happened that you've entered and someone has been like strongly surprised that, oh my God, the performer entered from behind me and given you a shocking, funny response while you've been playing? Has this happened to you when you started suddenly walking around and prakatifying in between people, suddenly playing the violin, and people are wondering where the music is coming from?
Oh yeah, of course. Absolutely. I think, as recent as this new year, that is the 2020 new year, I was I was in Canada, and I was performing there for the new year, and you can imagine how cold it would be on a New Year's Day in Canada. So, there was a small path that I needed to take from my green room to the concert hall, and I wanted to go outside and go to the balcony and enter from there. So people were just really amazed as to how I walked in the freezing cold to go all the way back and came. And then when I came from the balcony, people sitting there were just like, how did you even walk here? The only way to the balcony was from the outside. So I mean, that was those are the kind of measures that we go to keep them to get that kind of response from them. And I think we've achieved in doing that at quite a number of places. And I'm very happy to also tell you all that when Guruji saw me performing of course I performed at the Art of Living Ashram, and when he did see me perform, while he was sitting in the middle and I was walking around him and performing, so he was also pretty, he was just trying to figure out how is this happening. I'm sure he already was like looking at all my technology that I'm using, and he probably know how I do it. But that was something we had a discussion with him as well, which I felt was very unique. So
Wonderful, Anish. We are really looking forward to your concert at the Alap Sadhana Festival tomorrow night at 9 p.m. at the Alap Sadhana Saptaha Utsav, and launching the Contemporary Creatives Prime Time with you. Thank you so much for this teet-a-teet with you, and we are all looking forward to seeing you tomorrow on our screens, walking around and walking into our hearts too. Maybe as soon as the pandemic is done, many of us will get a chance to see you walking around us again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the main aim of the concert that I'm going to be doing is to showcase that I always talk about this in all my interviews. I always say that once you know how to play Indian classical forms of music, it's very easy to play any other genre of music. And I think that is very important in tomorrow's program as well, because I'll be showcasing how I'm going to be playing a little bit of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, etc., and also doing all of that by using my Carnatic background in music. So I think it's very important that we also don't forget our roots and our art forms, but yet move ahead with of course creativity, improvisation, and also the unique ideas that everyone has. So that's going to be the thing that I'm going to showcase in my concert. So see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Anish. See you tomorrow. And as you said, it is important to keep moving forward but not forget the old. That's what the Art of Living believes in, Nityan, Nupan and Puratan. So get the older ethos of spirituality, but be fun, be full of excitement. So that's what you are, and all of us are really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Jai Gurudev.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Jai Gurudev. Thank you.